Good afternoon. Meet Sir Tim Berners-Lee, the man who invented the World Wide Web. Now, at the time that he invented the web, he worked for an organization called CERN, and he faced a challenge that he needed to influence his employers to support him working on the web. But once he invented the web, he faced an even greater challenge, and that was to influence his employers to make the World Wide Web available to the public royalty-free. Had he failed to influence his employers, then the World Wide Web, and actually the world as we know it today, would not exist. So the lesson we take from this is that in life, the ability to influence people to buy into our ideas is so often even more important than the idea itself. I use the word idea. Of course, you can replace this with product, service. If it's leadership, perhaps it's the direction that you want people to follow. But the good news is this: influence can actually be learned. It's a skill. There's a science behind influence that can be taught. What is one of the secrets of understanding the science behind influence? It's in knowing that our brains rely on mental shortcuts to be able to perceive and to cope with the world around us. We, in psychology, call these shortcuts heuristics. And in fact, you're using these mental shortcuts right now to perceive everything around you. I'll give you an example. On here, on screen, you can see there's a picture of me smiling turned upside down, right? Wrong. In fact, if we turn it around, you'll see it's a digitally altered. It's quite grotesque, right? I'm not smiling at all. But here's the thing. I gave your brain just enough information, the shape of a head, jawline, eyes, nose, mouth, to make it use a shortcut that told you that's a picture of Gilan smiling. So once you understand that our brains operate with shortcuts, we actually rely on them, then you can learn the fundamental shortcuts that influence us, and by working with people's shortcuts, instead of having them work against you, you'll be able to increase your influence. And of course, I'm talking about influencing people in completely ethical and positive ways. In fact, we're going to have a little bit of fun with a little experiment right now. I'm going to need someone from the audience to come up and help me, someone who is very close here, and you know I'm coming towards you. Would you come up and join us? Please give her a round of applause. It is Vanessa. I didn't read her mind. She has a name tag, Vanessa. Thank you for coming up to help. Would you mind to sit down on this seat over here? Vanessa, we're going to do this really, really quickly. I have a clipboard over here, and I have a marker. I'm going to ask you to think of a picture, something that if you drew it here and showed it to everyone, people right at the back would be able to see what it is, right? And they'll be able to recognize it. Don't show anyone. Once you're done, keep it close to your chest, and I'll come back to you straight afterwards, all right? So go ahead. There is the marker. Fantastic. Now, while she's doing that, let me explain something that most people neglect when it comes to influence. And that is that the most powerful influence techniques should be applied just before you make your influence attempt with people. So I'll give you an analogy. Imagine that there are 3 buckets of water on stage and 2 people. In this bucket over here, someone has their hand in very cold water. Over here, someone has their hand in very hot water. And right here in the middle is room temperature water. If these people had to take their hands out and put it in the same room temperature bucket, they would be influenced to have a very different experience, right? This person would say that it's very hot. This person would say that it's very cold, even though it's the same temperature. Well, in life, it's the same. The most powerful influence comes from, figuratively speaking, that first bucket. You heard Al mention when he called me up on stage that I've presented in around 20 countries around the world, and no matter where I am, people fundamentally are the same. That when you learn the skill, the ability to influence people, then you can increase your effectiveness when it comes to leadership, negotiation, sales, even self-motivation, which is self-influence, isn't it? This is not an exhaustive list, but it all falls under the science of influence. So let's have a look at our own experiment over here. By the way, I just want to confirm, no one came and told you what to draw, right? This came from your mind. There's no way I could have known. Here's the thing, Vanessa. I have over here the picture that I wanted you to draw. You see, this entire experiment, this entire presentation was for you to draw something specific. I've been trying to influence you since the moment I locked eyes and tried to... here's the thing. I'm going to show everyone what I've drawn here. I don't want you to see, okay? Are you guys ready? This is what I wanted her to draw. Can you guys all see that? Vanessa, will you now please show us what is the picture that... It is a house, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Exactly right. Let's have a look. Hold that up for the cameras. It's almost exact, except you didn't quite get the pathway over there. Please give Vanessa a big round of applause. Vanessa, you can grab onto this. And here's a copy of my book. It's Persuasion Games. Enjoy it. Thank you very much. One more time for Vanessa. Woo! I get as excited when it goes right. Ladies and gents, if you enjoyed what I shared with you in these 5 minutes, let's start that conversation to see what I can bring to the table to help your people to become immediately more influential. Thank you very much. My name is Gilan. Just ask for the mentalist. Enjoy the rest. Thank you so much.